Oh no, I just realized the music wasn't playing. Oh, we gotta go back. Oh, what do I do? What do I do? Wait, hold on. It's early in the morning. Y'all had no audio. Oh my goodness. It was rocking too. I was feeling so good. Oh man, I want to start the stream over, but I don't know if that's possible. I don't think that's the move. Oh man. Oops. Sorry about that. Here we go. We're in there. Sorry about that. Apologizing to myself. I'm the one actually upset. It's early in the morning.
I've been overwhelmed by the task at hand. Screamed impossible to the silent stars. But I travel far and wide across our sacred land, sharing the wine in the churches and bars. And I'd say, wipe the tears you shed from fear they've won. I've come to tell you the revolution marches on. Go ahead. Give your heart back to the rising sun. What's right is right. It's never wrong. As long as there's one of us standing. 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 We may always be needed more than ever. For those who seek to punish all they fear. May always be growing in number in a world that gets more frightening every year. But we fight for that day, not because it comes, but because it is upon us as we speak. And I swear, white doves fly from off your tongue when you lift your voice for the weak. And as long as there's one of us standing, as long as there's one of us standing, as long as there's one of us standing, as long as there's one of us standing. Is not some fragile flower. It's one that breaks the sidewalk just to bloom. Even God said there is no higher power than the lily or the love inside of you. So if you're out there looking for answers, one of us standing. As long as there's 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 one of us standing.
Thank you for the heads up, Ben. I appreciate it. Sorry about the muted beginning, but here we are. We're in. I've almost finished this cup of coffee, though. I'm not sure what to do with myself. At a little bit of a loss. Should I run up there and add more coffee to it? I don't know. It's tough. We got breaking news coming in as I speak. Welcome to the show, everybody. Let's do this.
I wake up so early in the morning. You might not like talking to me. I need coffee just to be able to make coffee. I wake up like a cat up in a tree. Some folks rise and start shining. They're all ready to seize the day. As long as they keep their distance, everything just might be okay. I wake up so early in the morning.
Early in the Morning Afternoon News is filmed before a live webcast audience with your anchor, Nathan Moore. Good morning, good afternoon. Nathan Moore here reporting for Early in the Morning Afternoon News. I have not peeked at the headlines. My cup of coffee is almost empty. I'm not doing any of this right. I don't know what to say except for heads up, we're going in. It's a stone. It's a broken mug. It's Sitman. It's Early in the Morning Afternoon News. Let's go now to the headlines. Start with the Drudge. Oh, San Francisco cops arrest tech exec over Cash App founder killing. Whoa! So it wasn't just random. Oh my goodness. Next headline, not random attack. Oh my goodness. The plot thickens. The two men quarreled in car moments before stabbing 2:30 a.m. drunk, I'm guessing. Wow. That is a development. And the feds nabbed the leaker. This has been, for the last few days, I've been thinking maybe this is a whole operation just to take down Discord. But let's see what happens. Jack the Dripper, Discord dump rocks Pentagon. So does this mean the documents are legit? Let's go now and read more on this one. Air National Guardsman Jack Teixeira, 21, arrested in U.S. intel leaks. Massachusetts Air National Guardsman Jack Teixeira was arrested at his home Thursday after being implicated in the leak of dozens of sensitive U.S. intelligence documents. The biggest national security breach in at least 10 years. Law enforcement officers swarmed the 21-year-old's home, 21 years old, in North Dighton, Massachusetts, about 20 miles east of Providence, Rhode Island. Hours after the New York Times reported that investigators wanted to speak with I wish I knew this name, Teixeira, who was reportedly stationed at Fort Bragg in North Carolina. News helicopter footage showed Teixeira clad in red basketball shorts and gray T-shirts surrendering to what appeared to be camo-clad FBI agents. Since last week, the FBI has aggressively pursued investigative leads, and today's arrest exemplifies our continued commitment to identifying, pursuing, and holding accountable those who betray our country's trust and put our national security at risk, the Bureau said in a statement confirming Teixeira's apprehension. Attorney General Merrick Garland, in a brief statement following Teixeira's apprehension, confirmed he was arrested without incident on charges connected to alleged unauthorized removal, retention, and transmission of classified national defense information. There he is. National Guard issued a statement saying, "We are aware of the investigation into the alleged role a Massachusetts Air National Guardsman may have played in the recent leak of highly classified documents." They're not talking about if this verifies the authenticity of the documents, but it appears to, right? Investigators believe Teixeira, who specializes in intelligence and whose promotion to airman first class was announced this past July, led the Discord chat group. Discord's getting a lot of boost, signal boost. We love our Discord. He led the Discord chat group known as the Thug Shaker Central, where photos of the classified documents first surfaced. Sources familiar with the probe said. See, I think my initial joke was actually the accurate theory. He got bent out of shape over some argument with some jerk who made him do it. The classified pages were then disseminated after being posted on the second Discord channel linked to YouTuber Wow Mao on February 28th before quickly spreading when a member of that channel posted some of them to a bigger channel called Minecraft Earth Map on March 4th. Sensitive information relating to the war in Ukraine, including potential vulnerabilities in that country's air defense capabilities, Israel and South Korea, was leaked, sparking international concern. U.S. officials were alerted last week when some of the Ukraine documents surfaced on Russian Telegram channels. "We have rules in place," Pentagon spokesman Brigadier General Pat Ryder told reporters Thursday, shortly after Teixeira's arrest. "Each of us signs a non-disclosure agreement. This is a criminal act, a willful violation of those." The Washington Post reported that Teixeira was known to his Discord channel members by the handle Jack the Dripper. Man, 21 years old. There he is, Jack the Dripper. How about that? So that seems to imply that the documents were legit. Although really there was technically no bombshells in there in terms of stuff we didn't know, but to have a verification like that is definitely something. So I guess we don't even really need to read about this Cash App founder killing. I mean, the headline says it all, which it often does. But it was not a random act. Arrest made in San Francisco, killing of Bob Lee, tech exec's alleged killer also worked in tech. Mission Local is informed that the San Francisco Police Department early this morning made an arrest in the April 4th killing of tech executive Bob Lee following an operation undertaken outside the city's borders. The alleged killer also works in tech and is a man Lee purportedly knew. We are told that police were dispatched to Emeryville with a warrant to arrest a man named Nima Momeni. The name and Emeryville address SFPD officers traveled to correspond with this man, the owner of a company called Expand IT. Multiple police sources have described the pre-dawn knifing last week, which left the 43-year-old dead in a deserted section of downtown San Francisco, as neither a robbery attempt nor a random attack. There you go. How about that? Oh, Silas with the pronunciation. Better late than never. Teixeira. Teixeira. Really? Interesting. All right, going down into the columns here, above the fold, going below the fold here. FBI, all right, that's same story. DeSantis supporters worry he's launching too late. Well, he's been soft launching for years, right? Chaos in Florida House amid debate on 6-week abortion. State of emergency declared in Fort Lauderdale as heavy rain drenches over 25 inches. Can you believe that? Rioters stormed the Paris headquarters of Louis Vuitton. What is going on there? Got to click on that. Rioters stormed Paris headquarters of luxury goods firm behind Louis Vuitton days after its chairman was named world's richest man with 168 billion. That's all you got? Fortune, 168 billion pounds. As pension reform protests grip France, hundreds of French workers have stormed the Paris headquarters of luxury group LVMH as France faced another day engulfed in riots over President Emmanuel Macron's hated pension reforms. Protesters called for the rich to contribute more to financing the state pension just days after LVMH chief Bernard Arnault dethroned Elon Musk as the richest man in the world, with his net worth growing more than 40 billion to 168 billion. I wonder if he overtook Musk or if Musk fell behind him. There's a little bit of both. Twitter seems to be a bottomless pit. Moscow might discuss swap for jailed U.S. reporter, diplomat says. Wall Street Journal reporter was taken into custody in Russia a couple of weeks ago, pulled from a cafe in Russia. I tell you what, if he was just a reporter, what a brave man he was to be in Russia at all right now. Holy moly. Jury selection begins in Dominion trial. All eyes on Judge 2. That's a case we're definitely going to be keeping a close eye on here, the Dominion defamation trial against Fox News. Good morning, Chad. Good to see you. Platt Zap, hanging on Twitch. Hunter Biden comes out from the shadows, front and center alongside father, maybe holding him up a little bit. Kansas cops chased elderly man for driving 3 miles per hour over limit, then tased him. Oh, God. Of course they did. I don't think we want to look at that story. A part of me does. Let's see the body cam. How does that make any sense? Primary breadwinner disappearing more from homes. Bad sleeper. Exercise could help remove health risks. You know, sometimes I feel like the news is watching me. Yeah. I just slept great, thanks. I just slept for too long. It was one of those too long sleeps. I had some vivid dreams, too. All right, second column. NFL Commanders sells for $6 billion. They would have gotten $8 billion if they come up with a better name than Commanders. I swear, a lot of people that had to rename their businesses or teams or whatever it was because of changing cultural sensitivities and different perceptions shifting. A lot of them seem to have named their businesses out of spite. Oh, yeah, well, if you're going to make me change my name, I'm going to name it something stupid. Take that. Yeah, great idea. Great thinking. Way to go. I've seen it happen so many times here in the South. All right, well, if I have to rename it, I'm going to rename my place something stupid. I'll show you. More than 80 animals, many dead, found in back of pickup truck in New Jersey. Well, we'll just let that hang there. We're just going to let that dangle. You guys can imagine. You guys can fill in the blanks on that, right? More than 80 animals, many dead, many Not all of them. No, I'm not going to tell you what kind of animals we're talking about here. Just going to let you know they were found in the back of a pickup truck in New Jersey. Okay? That's all you need to know. Go think about that. Florida LGBTQ immigrant groups issue travel warning about visiting or relocating to the state. Yeah, there's lots of reasons for lots of different people not to want to spend too much time in Florida. They're experiencing some growing pains down there. Do you want me to click on that link, Frogville? Oh, by the way, we did do a test run last night of the hotline here for Surly in the Morning News. I'm not ready to fire it up yet. I need to find my feed a little bit better, but we are going to have a hotline, and this cartoon version of myself will be able to hold the phone when it rings and stuff like that. I have to get my brain around how that flow is going to be, because it would just be ringing at random times. But we will be instigating the hotline. I think would be a really fun part of this show, coming soon to a YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook page near you. Texas venues hosting drag shows say they won't back down as threats, protests grow. Yeah, stand your ground. But be safe and be peaceful. Dangerous rise of front yard politics. Dangerous rise of front yard politics. What's this all about? Has been a definite rise in sign desecration and sign stealing and stuff like that since the Trump era began. The dangerous rise of front yard politics. Oh God, this is the Atlantic. I'm definitely going to need a new cup of coffee. There's no way. It's going to be a novel. Squigs, good afternoon. Good morning. Several months ago, while walking through my neighborhood in Washington, D.C., I noticed an impressive number of front lawn placards celebrating and welcoming refugees. The signs made me proud. I like living in a place where people openly celebrate tolerance and diversity. Several days later, my pride curdled into bitterness. As part of some reporting on housing policy, I found a State Department page offering advice to Afghans and Iraqis resettling in the U.S. The upshot: stay away from D.C. The Washington, D.C. metro area, including Northern Virginia and some cities in California, are very expensive places to live, and it can be difficult to find reasonable housing, the website warns. Any resettlement benefits you receive may not comfortably cover the cost of living in these areas. Look at how, oh my God, look at this. This is how, I shouldn't even have started this. As soon as I saw the Atlantic, I should have run. All right, let's run away. Get me out of here. So much love to you there, Saul, Cristiano, Winston, and Lago. McConnell to return to Capitol after 5-week absence. Update: masks ordered on after COVID in India. New symptom in kids. We talked about this yesterday. A new variant is rising in India. America's most popular neighborhoods. Tiny Wyoming community has some of country's priciest homes. Denver school closes after 3 teachers die? What? All right, clicking on that. Denver area school closes after 3 teachers die, one from suspected bacterial meningitis. Oh man, I think it was meningitis went through my school when I was a kid. I think it was high school, but it might have been middle school. But all I remember is that everybody, every kid, every teacher had to take some medicine that turned your pee orange. And I remember that, and they warned about that. And I remember being in the Hardee's right downtown when it first happened to me. I was like, oh my God, there it is. A Denver area high school closed this week after 2 of its teachers died. at least one due to symptoms consistent with bacterial meningitis. That is nothing to mess with. Eagle Crest High School in Aurora canceled Tuesday night athletics and activities and Wednesday classes out of what officials called an abundance of caution following the death of teacher Madeline Schmidt. Oh, that is so frightening. All right, third column. We're blazing through these. My coffee is almost gone. Louisville bank shooter's mom warned cops in panic 911 call. I listened to that call last night. She had just heard from the roommate. His roommate called his mom and was like, I think he's going to the bank with a gun. And she calls 911 and she's just like, this is all I know. He's a good kid. He's never hurt anybody. I don't know where he got a gun. Really heartbreaking. You really just have to wonder what happened there. 23 years old, gainfully employed. His mom says he's a sweet kid. Never hurt a fly. All right, we got some links coming in the chat here. Let me get through this column and then I'll click on your links there. We'll do this. Louisville bank just did that. Third of researchers think AI could cause nuclear-level catastrophe. 2/3 aren't paying attention. Two-thirds of researchers say, "Huh? What? What are you talking about? What is that? What's AI stand for?" ChatGPT does 80% of my job. Workers using bots and employers have no idea. Go team. That's right. Put them to work for you. I'm still waiting on my robots. There's a lot of work that needs to be done around here, and I demand my robots. I'm doing a sit-in. I'm going to sit here till I get my robots. Give me my robots. Give me my robots. Give me my robots. Computer-generated swatting service causing havoc across America. We have we've long standing on our Discord server had a wonderful bot. His name is Percy. AG Tech Support invented him, and he has been fetching Nathan Moore lyrics for the last couple of years. He takes requests from the chat. He rolls die. He's done all these things for a long time. In the last few months, though, it's just been an exponential growth of abilities. He now has ChatGPT abilities, and in fact, you can, from wherever you're watching the show, ask Percy a question. He's the brains behind the Mr. Know-It-All operation here on Surly in the Morning Afternoon News. And it's a whole thing. Definitely check out our Discord server. You're going to want to check that out. The Cannes lineup revealed Wes Anderson, Idol, Glazer, Roar Watcher, McQueen, and more. Scorsese back on the crusade, whatever that is. World baby bust laid bare. What is that? God, do I want to click on this? What's behind the U.S. baby bust? Americans are prioritizing careers and leisure activities over having a family. As experts say, this has set the U.S. on an irreversible path to economic destruction. Well, we here are doing our part, that's for sure. Lula backs BRICS currency to replace dollar in foreign trade. Oh, yes, there's a move away from the U.S. dollar out there in the world economy, and this could have huge, and for us personally, terrible ramifications. Definitely a story. It's more than a story. It's many stories, but something we're going to have to keep an eye on. If they move oil and all that stuff all around the world off of the U.S. dollar, it's going to be devastating to our economy, which really doesn't produce a whole lot. Hopefully that can change. But Lula is yet another voice joining the choir to move away from the U.S. dollar. All right, those are the Drudge headlines. Let's go now to our Discord server. I see in here a couple of links have been pasted. Oh, geez, did you see this? Silas, our reporter on the ground out there. Yes, I did. We talked about this yesterday. NPR quits Twitter after being falsely labeled as state-affiliated media. They this is their story. This is their letter of resignation. You know, I mean, it does say on the NPR website that they couldn't do what they did without federal funding, but at the same time, they're saying that their editorial board for their news is completely independent of any of that, and feel like being labeled state-affiliated media hurts their credibility, and so Twitter is adding that handle to their posts, and they felt like it damaged their credibility. They didn't want to have anything to do with it, and they've left Twitter. And I don't know, Twitter is really, really, really struggling at the moment.
We've got news about NPR, the radio network you're listening to right now. Well, it's going silent on Twitter. It will no longer tweet from its 52 official accounts. And this comes after Twitter slapped a label on the main NPR account.
Frogville says NPR and their radio is just propaganda for the state. Are you sure? I could see making that case a little bit, but to say it's that simple, I wonder.
NPR account suggesting a false equivalency with state-sponsored outlets in Russia, China, and other autocratic nations. Later, changes by the social media platform did not convince NPR to stick around. NPR media correspondent David Folkenflik joins us now to discuss. Hi, David.
Hey, Layla.
Okay, so tell us what led NPR leaders to make this decision to quit Twitter.
Well, think about what you just said. I mean, It's giving us this NPR the same designation it would give to, these propaganda outlets for autocratic regimes. NPR's chief executive John Lansing told me just ahead of the announcement that to continue gracing Twitter with official accounts denigrates our credibility and undercuts the work of our reporters. He points out, look, NPR is a private, nonprofit corporation. Our institution is independent of government and of other corporate ownership, for that matter. And it also, its board is constituted independently. We aren't influenced by governments in that way.
Yeah, and the false implication that we are is incredibly dangerous for our journalists working independently around the world. But speaking of labels, if you could just walk us through the labels that Twitter has used to describe NPR and how that led to this decision.
Sure. Well, first, out of the blue, earlier this month, Elon Musk's Twitter designated us to be state-affiliated media, and that's that term that is applied also by Twitter to propaganda outlets abroad. Mm-hmm. When asked by NPR's Bobby Allen, our colleague who covers tech and covers Twitter, who's working on a story, he asked about this. Musk said, look, maybe I got it wrong. And he then changed, NPR's label to government funded. This was also unacceptable to NPR leaders. Less than 1% of NPR's funding comes directly from federal sources. And, you can receive money from multiplicity of sources and still not be controlled by the government. Then the BBC posted an interview earlier today in which he was pressed by a reporter for the BBC, and he said he would change both the BBC's designation and NPR's to publicly funded. That's a change, but John Lansing tells me, our chief executive tells me, he doesn't have faith in Twitter's leadership. It seemed almost as though Musk was sort of negotiating with the reporters who were pressing him on his policy decisions. Let's
get into what this decision actually means for NPR. Does it hurt the organization's ability to amplify the work if it doesn't use Twitter? Does it need Twitter?
Our acting chief news executive, Edith Chapin, put out a note this morning pointing out how little amplification NPR gets from its stories, engagement it gets on its stories compared to places like Facebook, or if you think of NPR Music, it does so much on YouTube. And there are other ways that we reach people. TikTok's Planet Money account is really quite popular as well. That said, it's been really useful to journalists. Mm-hmm. You've watched activists using it to challenge authority. Presidents are using it to announce news. And I should make clear that NPR isn't stopping its journalists from using it, but it said that NPR was devoting too much resources to this as a question.
So what does this all tell us, these changing labels, about how Elon Musk is making decisions at Twitter?
It's sort of imperiously, erratically. He seems interested in learning more, but he seems interested in doing that after he's made a lot of these decisions that have real repercussions.
On that note, you can find me on Instagram. Thanks, David. NPR's David Folkenflik. Thanks a lot.
That was a pretty astute observation there at the end, that Musk does seem to be willing to learn from his mistakes, but he's also seems to be willing to make an awful lot of them in the process. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I still look at Twitter. I still have my account. I'm not a Twitterer. I don't post a lot, but I like looking at the feed. I do know, I remember back in my touring days, it was always a sigh of relief when you'd be turning the radio dial. It's like the Joe West song, just trying to find NPR on the radio. I did a quick search on YouTube for that Joe West song, but I didn't find it right away. If anybody has a link for that, we could listen to a little bit of that too. But yeah, I always have found their reporting reasonable. And I mean, the government is the source for a lot of information. That's for sure. And I think most news of any size these days is sponsored by Pfizer. So I'm not sure exactly what that implies. But yeah, there you go. You guys can duke that one out in the chat. I like to see it. All right, let's go to the map. My coffee is almost gone. I'm not sure what I'm going to do then. Biden will expand healthcare access for DACA immigrants. Yeah, expand healthcare access for all of us. Texas County convenes meeting to discuss the possible closure of its more than 100-year-old library system. 100 years old. We talked about this yesterday. They got so tired of arguments over which books they could keep. They just decided, let's just scrap the whole library. There's nobody in here anyways. Ukraine war live updates. Law enforcement official confirms suspect Jack Tuxera arrested in Pentagon leak investigation. North Korea launches new type of ballistic missile, Seoul says. Severe tropical cyclone Ilsa headed toward landfall in Northwest. Oh, is that in the States, or where is that? Search continues for missing Sherpas on Everest as Nepal gears up for new climbing. Ancient formation discovered wrapped around Earth's core. Well, let's look at those for a second. Yesterday we learned about the hot spring in the bottom of the ocean. We were relieved to find out the ocean wasn't leaking out the bottom, but that there was a spring bursting up into it. The structure of the earth beneath our feet has been fascinating to members of the scientific community recently, and it turns out it's far more complex than people initially thought. It's pretty complex the way we initially thought. I tell you what, a molten lava core, I mean, get your brain around that. How is that possible? What is going on there? First, we learned of the news of a massive ocean beneath the Earth's crust that contains more water than all of the seas on the surface. Think about that. Pangea. We're just free floating. We're all just sitting in these little rowboats. Look at that. I mean, it's just too much to think about.
Earth conditions, and after increasing its temperature to 4,000. The Earth's insides are cooling down, and the planet will eventually turn into a sterile, unliving rock. It's the life cycle of all planets. But when the inside goes cold, our planet will lose its magnetic field, the very thing that protects us from much of the harsh radiation of space. And despite recent events like the volcanic eruption in Tonga, it turns out our planet is cooling much more rapidly than experts once believed. Despite standing directly above all the action, it's still difficult for scientists to know what all is going on down deep inside the Earth. But they know that the Earth has a mineral layer between between its outer iron and nickel core called bridgmanite. It's a conductive material that pulls heat into the next layer of liquid magma. So scientists fired a laser at a bridgmanite crystal to superheat it while also increasing its pressure to simulate under-earth conditions. And after increasing its temperature to 4,274 degrees Fahrenheit and increasing the pressure to 127 gigapascals, they realized the mineral is 1.5 times more conductive than previously thought, which they say means Earth will cool faster than expected as well. But add exactly how much faster is still a mystery.
Wow. The mystery continues. God, what a trip. The way it all works. Wish they'd given us a little bit of a timeline. I got a gig next Thursday. All right, let's go to the Google News last stop here on our news journey. Oh, there's another link in the chat I need to click on. See you later, Chad. Go get him, Tiger. Audio obtained by Washington Post claims to be from friend of Pentagon leaker. Do we want to hear that audio? I sort of do.
What if you could do SEO smarter and faster? With Wix, you can edit your meta tag.
Looks like the Washington Post might be zeroing in on the person who leaked the top secret Pentagon documents on social media. The Post spoke to one of the alleged leakers' online friends, and he says a leaker posted hundreds of pages of photos of classified U.S. intelligence in a private group on Discord. It is a platform that's popular with video gamers. Now, the friend says that the user, who is known as OG, indicated that he brought the documents home from his job on a military base. OG claimed that he spent some of his day inside a secure facility that prohibited cell phones and other electronic devices that could be used to steal secret information.
I was first made aware of these documents, I want to say about 6 to 8 months ago. I was in a Discord server by the name of Doug Shaker Central, and in this channel there was classified documents being posted by a user who I will refer to as OG from this point. The documents...
Definitely going to have to get this kind of action going on here on Surly in the Morning Afternoon News. We definitely need the silhouette sock puppet telling us things.
Were often listed
with a voice change. They didn't change this guy's voice. You got to put an octaver on there.
As Ukraine versus Russia at first. However, it slowly spiraled into just intelligence about everything.
So the Post is reporting that OG took hundreds of photos of the actual documents and shared them with the group, including detailed charts of...
So it does seem, I think the bigger breaking news is not that they got the leaker, but that the leaks are legit. That's what I get from that. Oh, I meant to say, while we were on YouTube, just a quick heads up. Nathan Moore on YouTube. We're live there right now. All the shows are now live on my YouTube channel. That's sort of a change. And you definitely want to hop on there, click the bell so you get notified when we are live. There's no set time except for Jabberjohn coming on later tonight. That's these three fellas right here. Me, my father, and Kyle Hogg are just going to sit and talk about things. We do that every Thursday at 7. Next Thursday, we won't be doing it because I'll be performing in Gypsy Hill Park for a YMCA benefit. But join us later tonight, 7 o'clock on the East Coast for some Jabberjohn. Be good to see everybody. We had some fun last night in Nathan's Land. Played some music. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just say you'll love me. Say you love me. Get pain, pain beget song. Something went wrong. I must be getting on my way to the end of just one rainbow. It's not the end of the world.
It was a fun night of music. I'm just trying to entice you to subscribe and click the bell to get notified so you can be there with us. All right. I think we've made it. Good work out there, everybody. The hacking of ChatGPT is just getting started. I imagine, because it can hack itself. ChatGPT, you could just tell ChatGPT to hack another ChatGPT, and it'll do it. Because what does it know? All right. Well, it wasn't too heavy of a news day, but news is news, and either way, we probably should dance it off.
No Sisyphus, I ain't working in the town. I ain't pushing no stone up no hill, just to watch it roll back down. No factory, no, never again. As long as I was working in that factory, I ain't never had no friend. Now I will always be free. And if you wanna know, I wanna show you how.
Park trash and check to the bank cash and Friday night beer drinking, show up Monday work stinking liberal. And I got me a little BFA from a little old college out my way. I think education and art is the answer to the world, 'cause I'm a bleeding heart liberal. But I'm proud, but feeling alone in the crowd. Fat boy, roll over fat boy, roll over radio star. Roll over fat boy, roll over fat boy. I'm trying to find NPR on my car radio. My girlfriend, she's a feminist. She gets mad, she gets pissed. She thinks I'm a selfish cat, a little old something I got from my dad. But I respect her right to choose and the equal chance to win or lose, and I support her career. In fact, tonight she's gonna buy the beer. 'Cause I'm broke, my day job's a joke. Roll over, fat boy. Roll over, radio star.
Thank you all so much for tuning in. See you tomorrow. Hopefully later tonight, too, for Jabberjohn. 7 p.m. We'll be there. Love you, Joe West. I think I just got a copyright strike in your honor. I'll take it. Don't mind at all. All right, go get them, Tigers. Give them heaven.
My friend Matt, he's a home. He calls
I wake up early in the morning. You might want to head for the hills. I wake homeless with a toothache. I wake fired with a stack of bills. It's my chance to be bitter, and there's plenty to be bitter about. I wake wise to the wicked ways of the world, and I snarl and I grimace and pout. I wake up early